Imagine waking up and seeing that you got sent down to minor league baseball because of a bracelet. This is a real event that happened to Athletics outfielder Aristi Ruse. He was spotted wearing a last dive bar bracelet, which protested the relocation of the team from Oakland to Las Vegas, as well as the owner, John Fisher. Professional athletes endure rigorous training schedules, countless sleepless nights, and time spent away from family, etc., all for our benefit. Whether you watch sports or not, they put themselves in the crosshair of endless criticism about their play on the field and their activism off the field. Naomi Osaka, a famous female tennis player, was forced to withdraw from the French Open and fined for missing a press conference. This was due to long bouts with depression, according to Business Insider. Protecting freedom of speech is essential for democratic principles and a culture of responsibility and activism in sports. Today, I will discuss how athletes' freedom of speech is being limited or ignored about different events like in sports, like rule changes, via uniform and jersey changes, as well as the environment in which they play in. First, let's talk about rule changes. Leagues across the world change rules according to several reasons, like updated safety concerns, updated technology, and better protection. These changes are often done against players' consent. On March 25th, 2024, NFL owners approved of a rule to ban the hip drop tackle. This is a swivel technique used to tackle opponents. A violation results in a 15-yard penalty on the defense. This tackle was seen 230 times in the past season and resulted in 15 players missing time due to injury, according to AP News. The rule change was met with outpour from fans, players, and rules analysis alike. J.J. Watt, future Hall of Fame defensive end, played for the Houston Texans and the Arizona Cardinals, just tweeted, "Just fast forward to the belts with flags on them," as well as Houston Texans cornerback Lonnie Johnson Jr. commenting, "That new rule, BS," according to Newsweek. The NFLPA that is currently working to overturn the rule. Another example of this is the pitch clock. After trials in the minor leagues, the pitch clock was introduced to the MLB in the 2023 season. This was added to lessen the time the pitcher has to throw the ball. A pitcher has to be ready to throw the ball with 8 seconds left and look at the batter. If this is not done, the pitch is called automatically a ball, and vice versa for the batter. If he is not ready, it is automatically a strike. Baseball is associated with tradition and innocence. This new rule change is being questioned because it may change the tradition and the integrity of the game. Former manager of the Cleveland Indians, Terry Francona, states, "There are going to be growing pains because these are changes that we have never had before," according to Newsweek. Pitchers have been reported feeling rushed in between innings and not having enough time to properly warm up. This has seen an increase in pitcher injuries, like Tommy John. Now we've mentioned that, let's move on to how uniforms are being altered against the players' consent. One of the most enjoyable parts about sports are the jerseys. Being a kid and getting your favorite player's jersey on Christmas is one of our fondest memories. The MLB changed the jersey provider for this season from Stahl & Dean to Fanatics and Nike. The MLB commissioner claims that they changed the jersey according to the players' wishes as well as optimize performance on the field. There's one serious issue about these uniforms. The players and fans alike notice that the pants, they are see-through, as well as the uniforms as a whole offer no benefit and lower the quality. Trey Turner, shortstop for the Philadelphia Phillies, states, "I know everyone hates them. We liked what we had," according to Today. The MLBPA is currently trying to fix the problem and work out a deal to bring the old jerseys back. The commissioner of the MLBPA calls for patience on the matter. Another example of this is the NHL. Their contract with Adidas to be their official jersey provider for the league ended, and they signed a contract with Fanatics. This was due as a cost reduction precaution. As mentioned before, Fanatics does not have the best track record when it comes to uniforms and jerseys, as we've seen in the MLB. Players across the league have pointed out the faulties and problems associated with the jerseys in MLB and are worried the same issue will plague the NHL as well. Now, let's move on to how the environment affects players' freedom of speech. The stadiums in which they play in offer way more variation than one will think. Each stadium has advantages and disadvantages to playing in, which is why players call for the regulation of a common playing surface. Turf fields are a big topic in football. Turf versus grass is a huge debate. Artificial turf has its benefits when compared to grass. This is because of the constant upkeep required for grass, which requires a high cost. There are currently 15 NFL fields using turf and 13 fields using grass. MetLife Stadium, which is home to the New York Giants and Jets, has been a main point in the argument, as many injuries have been seen happening here. The NFL deems the MetLife as a safe play surface, when compared to what a 49ers player said the turf is trash, according to NBC News. Most notable injury happened in the first game of the season to Aaron Rodgers, the New York Jets' new quarterback. 4 plays into the game, he tore his Achilles when being sacked by a defensive player. Aaron Rodgers himself states, "I am a fan of grass for sure. I like wearing seven studs and playing on grass." Another argument for this is you can't have grass on indoor fields. One argument of this is you can't grow grass inside indoor fields like Minnesota. Notably, Jason and Travis Kelce have mentioned their disagreement with this on their podcast, New Heights. Jason Kelce states that, "I don't want to hear that you can't have grass on an indoor stadium. They make UV lights. You can go grass inside. There are frickin' pot barns down the street growing mountains of pot. We can go grass on indoor stadiums," according to Newsweek. Professional athletes put themselves in the line of danger and on and off the field, between injuries, criticism of their play on the field, or activism in different social issues off the field. During the speech, I have talked about how athletes are ignored by their leagues on issues like rule changes, uniform and apparel matter, and the environment in which they play in. So what can you do? You can support athletes by listening to their stories. They are the ones playing the games that we love. The changes in policies directly affect them. Support athletes and listen to their stories. Everyone is entitled to the freedom of speech. Whether you like it or not, everyone has the right to speak freely on what they choose, whether it is a statement about your owner or even a bracelet. No one should be punished for what they say or believe.